Are you tired of the lack of practical arts advocacy strategies out there? You're not alone. In a recent Institute for Arts Impact study, 100% of the respondents said that they were frustrated with either the lack of practical strategies and resources or resources that related to the real-world problems that they face. Hi, I'm Angela, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 actionable strategies for arts advocacy that you can start using right away to make your impact storytelling more compelling. If you're tired of spinning your wheels on what to do and that the stories you're currently telling are missing the mark, stay tuned to this video if you want to learn actionable strategies that hit the mark. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to continue to receive these arts advocacy tips. Okay, the first tip is data drives and stories stick. For years, we've been telling an arts impact data-driven story that's all about economic impact, and it seems to continue to fall on deaf ears. So why not reframe your stories to resonate? Instead of talking about how many students came through your program, for example, we served 2,000 students last season, you can start to gather data that talks about the percentage of participants that go through your program and how they feel after completing the program. Stakeholders want to know what happens to those that engage, not just how many are there. Impact data that shows funders how mental health was improved, how empathy increased, or how participants gained critical thinking skills, combine outcomes with stories that stick, and you will leave a lasting impression. Okay, strategy number 2. Think about where you engage lawmakers. It's not just the how, but it's also the where. I know going to Capitol Hill or the State House is fun and fancy and grand, but remember, you're competing with industry lobbyists from every sector and everywhere. And so you're competing with the lawmakers' attention. Think of that like going to visit them at a conference. They are booked back to back to back. For example, look at this schedule of a lawmaker who from morning just until noon, how many meetings he had scheduled. As you can see, they're in 15-minute increments with only a 3-minute break in between. So you can imagine that before you perhaps was the banking industry and after you was the energy or somebody with technology visiting the lawmaker. Your impact stories might get tossed in the trash because they don't really rise to the top when you're competing with much larger industry heavyweights. What I suggest is visit lawmakers at their level in the district, either in their office or better yet, invite them to your organization. Don't just invite them to the performance or the gala or opening night. Again, that's a beautiful thing to do, but it's really important that we show stakeholders, the people behind the programs, those that are instructing and creating impactful programs for the participants. They also need to see the number of participants that come through your building and in your classrooms. Engage authentically. It's not just a cover letter that you copy and paste and put into an email. It's also not just one day on Capitol Hill. Engage them where they are, locally in the district, ideally then have them come to your organization and show what I call the in-between, not just the performance, but the process where all of the transformational skills are being taught. Third, and probably most important, is align your strategies with what those individuals, the stakeholders, lawmakers care the most about. Do a little bit of research and figure out where their interests are, what they are spending the most of their time focusing on. How does your programming improve mental health? How are you providing a more connected community that combats loneliness? Do you have any programs that work around homelessness or addiction? Find where skills that are taught through your programs, how that couples with the interest that the lawmakers have, that gives them a chance to see a win-win opportunity. It's an opportunity for them to carry out what they want to in areas that most concern them, as well as perhaps getting you the support that you need and want. Number one, data drives, stories stick. Use data to prove the outcomes and give a specific story as an example. That will leave a lasting impression. Second, think about where you're visiting your lawmaker. It's not just in the fancy halls of Capitol Hill or the State House. Meet them in the district, go to where they are, engage them one-on-one, invite them to your organization. If for some reason they can't come to your organization, bring a participant perhaps with you to the meeting where they can tell a real-life story of how they've been impacted because of your programming. And last, educate yourself on the issues that that individual cares most about. And how do your programs tie and link to those issues? How can you create a win-win situation for your lawmaker? If you're interested in receiving more practical tips like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share this to anyone you think would be interested.